Hey everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly for this patch that we just got on September 29th. So lots of little pieces in each one of those categories. Some might say more in some than the other. I'll give you my honest raw opinion. You might agree or disagree with it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, whether I missed something or you totally agree or disagree with my opinion. I'd love to hear it. Also got the Discord link in the description below if you want to come chat further. Always easiest to do that. Hammer down like buttons, notification bells, all that stuff. All right, let's check it out.
Bring me WolverThor!
All right, so I'm going to hit some highlights first. I don't want to just read from the patch notes. I will cover those in a second, not in super detail, but first. All right, now I always like to start off with the good because let's put ourselves on a nice happy plane, right? We want to focus on that. Great new looking zone. I think we can all pretty much agree that the zone that we've got, and you can see some of that behind me, or yeah, behind me right now, looks pretty sharp. It's kind of fun. You know, it's got some cool looking things in it. A lot of folks have been talking about Zanger Marsh from WoW. So yeah, I'm definitely digging that. There is a new costumes that I would say look pretty solid, honestly. Like I'm looking at these, I'm going, this is pretty cool. Now, I don't personally love the stats. Where's my, let's see, Dark Domain. I personally don't love, you can see, well, here's, okay, yeah, so stats. So Dark Domain, close quarters combat, you know, 3-piece set, you know, is attack. That's not bad. The new special that we got was Eye of Osiris. This one's not so bad. Trap, at least for, Widow, Trap Expert, espionage devices. They're not bad, but again, these are so hard to get. I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'll ever really have a chance to get that, so I don't care necessarily. So yeah, so there you can see the Dark Domain costume, a little bit on Widow there. Pretty sharp looking. The Eye of the Osiris costume as well. I think that, look, and you know, get some cool colors on that. So here's the Eye of Osiris costume. That's also pretty sharp. No, go back to the other one. I want the other one. There we go. So, you know, that is pretty cool looking. I definitely, between the two of them, anyway, you get the idea. They're both pretty sharp. I don't expect to get them though. Right, so store tokens. The Dark Zone added the level 110. We knew this was gonna happen. So you can see 110, so it is double. We talked about this in another video. It ended up being double, great. Now there's this other thing. We're talking about Dormammu tokens, all right? So first you click here to find it says event most wanted. All right. Well, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I need 200, 600, 1500. It's like, all right, you know, Dark Dimension Omega card box, if you even wanted those. I personally, the only one in here, and this is, you know, I think that everybody is kind of looking at is this one. The Doctor Strange number 8, 1974. The reason for this is the accuracy. The accuracy. There's really only a couple spots to get this, your chest piece and a badge. So you really want to get, this is very helpful. But the problem will end up being for some people is what do you remove? Some people need 4-piece sets and 2 other critical cards. I don't know, but the accuracy is critical. So, but still it's 15, you know, it's 1500 Dark Dimension, or Dormammu tokens. So I'm going, okay, well, what's the event to get this? And you've got, this one where you can kind of come through, you click the reward and you get some tokens here, right? Now, when I looked at this earlier, today, I was going, all right, well, how many of these can I even get? You know, and I'm going, let's see. So, I could get, let's see, what is it? For the 14 days of that city cluster event, I could get 60 to 75. And then the Ravager Plains, 75 to 90. Great Desert, 90 to 105. So you basically get around 490 from that event. And I said, you need 200 to 1500? All right. It also talks about maybe some most wanted stuff. So I'm expecting to get more of those. But I did like that there was a most wanted, you know, token or store and token that you could get. That's like, all right, that's that's pretty cool. You know, I do dig that. So, but again, like, we don't know how it's gonna end up working out. So we'll see. So we see in the store here exactly what this Dark Zone setup is as far as these tokens, and then like I mentioned, the Dormammu tokens, which I hope we get more for because it's not gonna be enough to do anything in here. I'm sure there's gonna be some offers for this. So the next part I'm gonna talk about is the slow leveling, or at least that's what I'm gonna call it. So you can see I'm 103. I'm actually done with the quests that they gave us in these two zones. I'm in the Twisted Border. There's the Land of Exile as well. I've also finished all the quests in there except for the last one, where you go up against Dormammu. I do got to do the same one there, but I'm gonna get that to that later tonight. So I'm going to myself like, all right, wait a minute. We've got a Blitz at 105, right? So we've got this Blitz coming in here that's 105. I can't get to it. So the other thing that we know is out there is this XP from Dark Zone, right? Well, we had some people go in there today, and we'll get into this later. But that's where you get your Dark Zone or your additional XP, and you're not gonna get another level from a Dark Zone in a day, unless you do this stuff that I'm gonna talk about later, which I don't even know if it's gonna be around very long. So, yeah, so slow leveling. There's gonna be a lot of people who are like, I just want to level right now. I want to level right now. I'm actually like, no, this is good. Like, it should be a bit slow there. Now, the problem is that I'm done with the content. So the only way for me to level further is if I go to Dark Zone, and then I can only do it once a day. So a lot of people, like WoW players, etc., they would just level for days and days and days and days and get what they could. Now, you wouldn't hit cap because, you know, you couldn't do it in a 24-hour period. And if you did, it's like, dude, you need to sleep. Like, don't not eat stuff, right? You could, I guess, if you want. But so this game in particular, it locks you at 103 and says, okay, now you've got 1 hour a day to go into Dark Zone. That's it. So get whatever XP you need, and that's going to be a bit before you get to the 105 Blitz. So you're going to hear a lot of different views and thoughts on that. You know, like I said, for that reason, I like it. Now, part of the bad of this, and this topic in general is a controversial bad, good, bad, better, good, whatever. It's kind of a mixture. Have you tried leveling an alt through this new zone yet? Okay, I took my Captain Marvel in there, and I don't have great gear on her. That's 3 stars. I have just normal Omega cards, not great, 3 and 4 stars that aren't specific to her. They're just, you know, 3 and 4 stuff that I didn't put on my main. And then I do have decent level 100 badges that I'll put on her, like Maestro stuff that, you know, should be good. But it is not fun. Like, it is hard. You need to be in a group. I die. Like, I couldn't, you know, I'm not expecting to auto, but I'm expecting to watch auto it. So dodge here and there. And I'm like, all right, this isn't working. So that's going to be interesting. So I think you might end up needing to upgrade your characters a bit more. And I don't think a majority of the players are doing that. I think maybe a rare few are. I could see, I hope we don't have to do them that much because we frankly don't get enough resources to do that on all your characters, but I'm a little bit worried about that. The other part of this bad is if we have to go to Dark Zone to get from a level 103 up to 105 and 110 to get that squad rank, etc., that means you need alts in Dark Zone, right? So, hey, I've brought an alt in Dark Zone to just run around with the crew to get some points because there's that daily mission that you get from Tony Stark in the Omega Flight headquarters. But it's a different thing to go through there and kill mobs and bosses and all the things. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't. We'll see how that is. It's this leveling of the alts is a little bit contrary to what I think the focus of the game tends to be, where it tries to get you to really focus on one character because it is so hard to get the gear you want on the one character that there's no way you're going to do it on multiple characters. You don't play a bunch of different tunes in Diablo because it's so hard to get that gear that you're like, yes, I got the great gear on my one character. Let's go. It's not that way. So anyway, next up, let's keep going on the goods. The preset skill, loving that. It's down here just to right there. So you can see that preset skill. You click that, you change your different presets. You do need to know what your presets are. So have that locked up in your head. I do like that. I will get to some other presets in the bad section. Dark Zone points and XP. So it's now 2 hours long for the 2 times points. So remember, there's 1 hour 2 times a day. So you had an hour in the morning or at night, depending where you are in the world. and you could go in there in one of those hours. Well, now it's for there's 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night. So that gives a bigger, and you're still capped at 1 hour per day. So that gives a bigger window for players to get into the game for 2 hours, which allows different alliances to potentially go in and claim zones. Again, depends how big your alliance is, how strong your alliance is, but either way, I like that you're going to have some more flexibility there and more people to get double points. There's something in the patch notes that do talk about the double points, the Dark Zone points. When you kill a prime character or a prime boss in Dark Zone, before it was about the last hit. Who got the last hit? Who got the last hit? Well, now it seems to be contribution based. So I'll go over that. I'll show you the specifics in that when I look at the patch note. That is one thing I do want to show you, but I do like that it's more about the damage done versus whoever gets the last hit, because that can be hard. Now, the bad side of that, selfishly, is I'm a Black Widow, and it's hard for me to stay on a boss the whole time and then get to the next boss in time before the group that I run with, X-Force, kills it. So that's going to be difficult for me. I wish I had a little scooter that I could put on and just Dark Zone and truck around a little bit. Maybe if they made an exclusive motorcycle for Dark Zone for Black Widow and even Cap, that'd be cool. Fingers crossed, right? They could both ride motorcycles in there. They don't have to be super fast, but it'd be helpful. Blitz changes. So there's going to be some good and bad here. So the first thing I want to talk about the good is they did mention that the drop rates on the badges were going to be increased. I don't know the data behind it yet, but I'm hoping the better drops are in there. So I hope that we can get more purples, more reds in there, especially given what the bad is, that when we get to that in a second. So technically the drop rates on the badges are higher from the rewards. At least that's the way I'm viewing that note. All right, so one of the things that I need to cover on this is the Blitz rewards. So, I talked about that a little bit there. The actual Convergium that you get, yeah, okay, maybe it's equivalent for rewards, but you got to think about the farm, right? So I talked to a few people in my alliance. At first I was like, it seems like it's like 250-ish per day difference. I don't know if that's really that big of a deal. Where is this really at? Is that big? So, but then I did talk to Henshin Baka, for anybody who's familiar, and he actually took some screenshots of this beforehand. So this first one that you're looking at here, that's the 27 blitz. That's what we used to have pre-patch. 27 blitzes and rewards gets you, if you convert the blue tier and the green tier down to the gray tier, basically gets you 540 unstable Convergium. Okay, so it's like, okay. So, and that took X amount of 45 minutes or an hour, whatever it was. Well, now what he did as well is he did this. This was from the actual current run, where it's 5 blitz and rewards. It got him 281 unstable. So 540 versus 281. That's a difference of 259 per day. 259 unstable Convergium per day. Now, if you're not currently farming, or if you weren't farming overnight, that's about the same. Like, I actually farmed overnight, and it wasn't even a full night, but because it crashed, but I got about 215 Convergium, unstable Convergium from that. So I feel like if I didn't crash, or I set up a macro or something like that, you could get that. But if you were already farming overnight and or had some sort of macro set up that you could dismantle, then this is going to drive you nuts. It's going to be a problem. The gold, I'm assuming, is about a similar percent difference here. So this has a lot of people upset and frustrated. I'm going to be in the middle ground. I'm going to be Switzerland here, saying, well, okay, I wasn't farming overnight, so I'm just going to make sure I do that now. I personally like the time back in the day to do less blitzes, and that's worth 259 Convergium to me. But I haven't red starred a lot of my gear, or nanoed a lot of my gear. So some other notes that they had specifically in there that I wanted to bring up is they added a filter to allow set sorting for costumes and badges. If this means that it won't jump around when you're trying to look at those, whether you're fighting, whatever, like, let's see what happens here. So I'm fighting right now. Before, and this is live test. Live test. What's gonna happen here? So I would look before, let's go to squad, storage. And when I look in here and I click level, and I'd scroll around, this would jump around. So yeah, this does work exactly how, like, that makes me so happy. So grade, let's see, all right. Okay. All right, it's just jumping around when I do something. So I like that it's not doing it while I'm attacking at least. So that is an improvement in my mind. So thank you. And you can see she's still attacking. So rah there. I do like that because that was a serious pain in the butt before. I don't know why she's not moving now. There's maybe a potential another bug. I don't know. Okay, so we also have another note in here that talks about fix the issue where the target remains locked even if they move fur away in Omega War. So if you lock somebody in Omega War, if they move a little bit further, it's like it automatically jumps to someone else. I hated that, drove me nuts. Apparently they fixed that. I haven't been in there. There's some bad about Omega War when I get there, but that is a very, very good thing. They also fixed the issue where players are unable to retrieve medkits from squad storage if they are the same type or as the one currently equipped. That drove me nuts. I specifically mentioned this in multiple, I don't know, videos or like messages to Netmarble, but I'm happy they fixed this. It was just a small quality of life annoyance where you'd have to move things around. So thank you. They fixed the issue where if you decline friend requests, they kept popping up. I don't know if you guys ever experienced that. I did. That is a good bug fix. There's a bunch of other bug fixes. Those jumped out at me. I already mentioned the accuracy card. That was one of the big things. So that's the main good things. Obviously, there's the new content, level cap, all that stuff that kind of just goes without saying. You see some cool NPCs in there. I'm running around fighting this stuff. This stuff will keep us entertained for a little bit, but not a lot because we're capped at 103, right? So bad. First up, in Dark Zone right now, they're giving double XP or some sort of XP is happening for trash mobs. So you remember all those little mobs off to the side that you just ignored and kind of wondered why they were there while you killed bosses? Well, apparently those are giving double, what you need to do is go in there, get your cards, and then farm those trash mobs. That's how you're going to level fast, okay? People got to do it this morning. Now, if they stop it and not allow people to do it in this night, which we'll know in about 40 minutes, that's going to be problematic potentially if some people got an advantage. Now, a lot of people are going to be upset by that. How much of advantage they gain? Half a level maybe? But still, it's something. So I don't like that. Look, if it stays there forever and it's like that, fine. You know, it's AFK farming in that area, so it's going to be interesting to see how people get Sentinel of Boundary scores versus leveling. I think everyone's going to level to a cap and then maybe go back to the old way, but we'll see. The Omega Pass. So this pass that you got up here, last time this included 900 potential. That's not here anymore. I don't think this comes as a surprise to anybody that they removed that because it was a phenomenal deal. If you missed that, I'm sorry. Now I'm really questioning whether I want to do this or not. It's always nice to get a 5-star card of anything. Granted, this one's a rare card. Granted, I don't really care for this rare card, but it's still 5 stars. I don't know. I'll think about getting this. There's some other things in here maybe I'll consider. But I was disappointed to see that they had taken that out. But again, I was not surprised in the slightest. Omega Point section. So there's no more selected regionals. So if you come in here and you go to your tokens and you go to special tokens, there used to be a regional in here that you could select, like you could pick Sakar whenever it came around. I think they were rotating on once a week. So each regional would come about. You'd pick that and you could pick which piece of Sakar you wanted. It was great because it was kind of a $600 pity system whenever you'd get 500 of these Omega points. Now it's not there anymore. So they've got some new stuff in here, much more expensive stuff, and I'm like, okay, is there just like nothing that I can really use in this star? Because I'm not going to come in here and spend 300 on this. This is like the chances here. It's all over the place. Like no, because I don't want more Xanderth. Like, no, thank you. So I don't know. I don't like that. I think that is a bad. We'll see how it ends up shaking out, but that is something that they changed. Also, the badge and Omega card preset. I joked before about I'm going to have some, comments about a preset in here. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Where I want to see somewhere on this screen an Omega card preset. Like make it a little card with a 1, 2, and a 3. And then a badges, same spot. Like it can be literally in the same spot here. I need my skills, I need my cards, I need my badges. Gear, I'm not so worried about. But those 3, especially the cards, oh my Lord, like there's such a big difference in those. That, you might have a PvP set versus a PvE set. I want to see that. Please, please, please. I'm going to call that a bad for now. Ugly. All right, so there are bugs in Dark Dimension and Omega War where people are one-shotting each other. Just like straight die, like boom, you're dead. Boom, you're dead. It still depends on power a little bit and stats a little bit. So I've been hit a few times and I've hit others and they don't die immediately. So power still matters a little, but there's some sort of like crit thing that's happening, or defenses being weird, or armor. I don't know. Something's happening in game where people are able to like just one shot somebody like that. Even, high level power characters or players get one shot. So that's a very big, ugly thing. There's talk that they're going to fix that soon. I know they're talking about it, but we'll see. Like that's come on guys. That's a problem. Dark Zone Q. So apparently today, and maybe it's just the excitement of the patch, but the queue to get into these were like 18 to 40 people long in some instances where they couldn't get in. Now, I don't know if this is a bug where, that if people went in and died and came out, that they wouldn't let new people in, so the queue just kept building up, or if there was actually that many people who wanted to do it. I'm not sure. But I know that a lot of people were stuck at, say, Q20, and even though they knew people were dying, that the queue stayed at 20. So something's up there. I know that we thought maybe they were working on patching the XP, but then people were able to get in. So I don't know what's there, but what's this going to mean to have these long lines at this point? People go to different zones. They go to the PvE zone. Maybe they go to the PvP zone because the PvE zone has way too long of a line. I don't know. I don't know. So something's up there. I don't dig it, but yeah, I'm curious to see how Dark Zone plays out. A lot of drama with that zone. Anyway, final one I want to mention here, even though I already have a red dot on my store, I already knew I had a red dot on my draw saving it. Now there's a red dot on my tokens because I have tokens to spend. I'm always going to have tokens to spend. I don't want this red dot. Go away, red dot. I don't need you. Leave me alone. I know that's kind of minor, but anyway. So, all right, I'm going to end this with going to the quick, the patch notes. I'm not going to read them all, but I do want to show you a couple. All right, if you want to get this stuff in detail, come to the Discord. I've got this stuff posted in the news chat, and it'll automatically check. Or if you're on the official Discord, you've probably seen it as well. So they've got a bunch of stuff in here that you can go through in detail. I tried to cover a lot of what the main good, bad, and uglies that I said. There's some other stuff in here. I mentioned before that I just really wanted to go to the spot. Here's some costumes that you can see. There's the eyes of Osiris. Those do look pretty cool, not gonna lie. So there's the Eye of the Osiris costumes. They look pretty sharp, kind of fun. Little Egyptian feel to it. My wife would definitely love that. So there's one. And then obviously we also have the Dark Domain as well. All right, so this is where it kind of looks a little bit scary. But I like it. A lot of spikes, green, glowing eyes, kind of demonic looking, spikies, points, all the things, right? A lot of texture. I'm a fan of how this looks if I can ever get any of it. Dark Domain Omega cards, you can check those out in game. I won't go over those in detail. I already mentioned the 2 hours. So this is the part I want to talk about. Dark Zone Prime Target Defeat Assist Point Criteria. Currently, if you defeat a to defeat the prime target, you get 150 points. That means you get the last hit. If you defeat the normal target, and it's double during double time, defeat normal target, you get 20. All right. If you get an assist, you get 40 and on the prime, and assist on a normal 10. That means you just hit it once. So it was all about beating that character or just getting the last hit. Now, after normal target, and you can see there's a PvP zone here and a normal zone. So we're going to start on the PvP zone first. Normal target, both. Doesn't matter. Defeat or assist, you're either getting 15 or 20 depending on the level. So that's what you're getting, and it'll be double the points. So everybody gets the same as whatever the person was who's one-shotting. It doesn't matter. The prime target defeat, it's contribution based. So anytime you come through, you earn points. Okay. If you're first, you get more. And obviously it just depends all the way from first to fifth, and then it goes below that. So you're going to want to do damage on those prime bosses because that's where the points are, and it'll double that. If you can be top 5, that's where you want to be at. So you're going to have your alliance mates competing to be top 5 to get those points. And then you get double, right? Now, again, I mentioned Black Widow before needing to run around, so that could get a little problematic. You know what I mean? It's like, ugh, I got to sit there and wait and like try to get, top damage. Now, granted, I'm not going to be in that group, so it might not matter because I run with some very strong people, but you get the idea. Now, there was a lot of question on PvP versus non-PvP. What's the point difference? People wanted to see that the non-PvP zone might not get as many points. And that's exactly what's happening. So the non-PvP zone is lower points than the PvP zone. So you get more points if you take the risk to go into PvP versus going into the non-PvP zone. I think some people want to be in the non-PvP zone are going to be upset, but I think the PvP zone people are going to think that's fair and what it should be. And frankly, I would agree with that. Whether I was a non-PvP player or a PvP player, I think that taking the risk to go into PvP zone should be rewarded more, and it is. So we'll see if that's fair. But that's really what I wanted to kind of cover there. Hit that last point. So a little bit longer video as far as the good, bad, and the ugly. There's some other stuff in here for challenges and gold. I'm not going to go over this stuff. We got more lists of improvements in here. Again, I picked a couple that I liked in particular, but there's a whole bunch here. Same thing with the bugs. I don't want to read them all. They're there. You can go check them out. I picked the ones that I personally found kind of the best. When I looked through it, I might have missed some. Like I mentioned earlier, definitely let me know if I missed something in particular. You're like, oh my gosh, this was like an obvious one. How'd you miss that? Offers. I'm not going to review the offers necessarily. There's a whole bunch of new ones in here. Some good, some okay. That's probably a whole nother video by itself. So I appreciate you stopping by. Like I mentioned, the Discord is in the description below. Come, talk, chat, whatever. We like to do the content through there. Hammer down like buttons, click notification bells, subscription buttons, all that kind of thing. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.